new wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. I had to check my mindset, cause new levels don't fit old presets. Asking God for increase, still thinking in defeat. That's like praying for heart, refusing to plant seeds. Nah, we don't just quote it, we become vision with substance. Purpose isn't vibe, it's a stewardship. Calling isn't status, it's discipleship. See, everybody wants the crown, nobody wants the crushing. Everybody wants the oil, nobody wants the pressing. But the wine flows when the grapes break. You don't build legacy by taking every escape. I told fear, move, I told doubt, shift. If God put it in my hands, then I won't drop the gift. New wine, new wine, new wine, yeah, yeah. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. Copy paste culture, everybody's a clone. Trying to wear another man's calling like it's sewn to the bones. But authenticity, that's kingdom currency. Cause David killed giants without Saul's security. I don't need your lane, I just need my assignment. Purpose isn't popularity, it's alignment. Excellence matters, preparation matters. When opportunity knocks, character answers. Look, prayer without work, that's presumption. Work without God, that's exhaustion. We need both, the spirit and the strategy, the fire and the discipline, the grace and the mastery. So when they ask what changed, tell them my mind renewed, my vision grew, my circle shifted, my priorities moved. New wine, new skin, I made. Make room for the dreams he planted. Make room for the person you're becoming. No more shrinking, no more hiding. If he called you, start walking. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sideline. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If I change it, let it start inside. Like the drugs on this throwing.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If you can hear me, just please drop it in the chat box that you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. Drop it in the chat box that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just drop I can hear you. All right. Waiting. Awesome. 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 So you're vibing to the song. Amazing. Amazing. All right. All right. So quickly before we start, I wanted to take the link on the group and share it with your friends. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your enemies, share it with your ex-boyfriends and your ex-girlfriends. If they had more sense, you would not have broken up with them. Right. But that's just an example. Just share it with everyone. The same way you share your church program and your church flight. So go ahead and share it with them. You're going to give us 2 minutes to do that. So go ahead and share it with them and come back here and let's have an awesome time together. So our speaker is right here with us, and I would not want to delay him. I'm going to be bringing him on board as soon as it is 12 minutes past 8. All right, so do that fast. Go and share. Go and share. Waiting for you. Don't worry, after the activation program, we are going to drop the song. We're going to drop our own record, our official single. so that you can keep vibing to it. Absolutely. All right, so you have 1 minute more. 1 minute more to go share the link with everybody around. 1 minute. Awesome. Awesome. 30 seconds more. 30 seconds more. All right, awesome. So we to into application to that we are going to what's your descriptions. So yesterday we got like importance of readings. We talked about how that's like things that you are exposed to. Talk about how that you have to change the mindset, you have to change that. that. And after that, we also talk about increasing authenticity in the words that person precious to right. Then that we should not take it. Instead, we should find out what precious should that. Right. We were reminded that if we do something right, in and true to create to to heart. Right. So tonight we are going to continue that conversation by addressing the question many of us struggle with. If you ever find yourself asking what exactly happened in each question, what is the purpose, why you ever felt like there is more to your life, can't pinpoint what exactly that is, then tonight's session is for you. And our speaker is someone who is deeply passionate about helping people discover purpose, gain clarity, and attention. And I'll give you a backstory. When I got on the space in 2019, right, there was a situation that led me to space, which a couple of people I could share today, right? But as I was winging my way, trying to find what to do, I came in contact with our school. All right. So when I got on the online space, I was winging it. I was confused. I didn't know. And then I came across right, the first coach that took his training and took me by and gave me that blueprint. Right. Honestly, I like to say it this way. If I had not met him, probably I would still be shadow boxing. I would like really still be that complete was looking for something to do. Right. So it was the one who you know helped me, shaped me through God into becoming. So I call him coach. And I can tell you that if you truly pay attention to the message, get something that's going to be right. I could remember that time, first ever program. We took it as a research designed for just to see that short achievements bring them these kinds of successes. So tonight, speaking on purpose is not a job, right? How to find the direction without losing yourself. You ever felt pressure to have that wonder whether it's right or perhaps yourself question? Well, tonight, it's like joining sorry. So we're going to bring it right space.
Let's move. New wine, new minds, no more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. Yeah. New wine, new grace, can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. I had to check my mindset, cause new levels don't fit.
Good evening. It's nice to be here. I am so sorry for the little delay. I had some network glitch. Please, can someone confirm you can hear me? Can someone confirm you can hear me? Mr. Shedra, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so our time is fast spent. I would do everything possible to ensure that we close on time. I understand that we have a second speaker for tonight, and I wouldn't want him to wait for so long. Thank you so much, Mr. Shedrack, the content grandmaster, for having me tonight. It feels so good to be here and spend a wonderful and amazing time with each and every one of you on this call. So please, I'm so much interested in activeness. I want to have you participate actively in this conversation because it's going to be a beautiful one. And I really want you to go home with something that will transform your life. So the topic I've been asked to speak on is one I'm so passionate about. In fact, if you know me too well online, you will note that I have a book that is specially written on the topic purpose. I extensively talked about purpose discovery, self-discovery, and self-development. That is my first hard copy book called Drink Up. So if you know your life with me, I want you to just indicate in the comment section. You can drop your expectations in the comment section and tell me how you feel about the day 2 of the activation conference. I want to make a very bold claim, and I stand, in fact, I won't say I stand to be corrected. It's a statement of fact. If you look around the social media space, most of the young people you celebrate today, I wouldn't want to mention names, but I want you to just imagine and possibly come up with names of people you admire in the social media space. I make bold to say that 80% of these persons have at some point in their journey, especially at the beginning stage, gone through one of my classes, either through mentorship or through my coaching programs, or they learned one skill or the other from me. And like I said, this is a statement of fact. And I would want to adopt the statement of my principal, Mr. P2B. He would always say, go and verify. So I want you to go and verify what I just said. And trust me, you'll be so proud of what you're going to see. So the topic for tonight says, purpose is not a job title. When I saw this topic, I started imagining and asking myself, why would CG choose this topic? Purpose is not a job title. And it dawned on me that lots of persons actually mistaking their job title for their purpose. 98% of the persons I've actually taken on sections around purpose discovery have always come with questions that seem to prove that they actually think that what they do represents their purpose. So my assignment tonight is to distinguish between purpose and your job title, to make you understand that your job title is not necessarily, or is not in most cases, your purpose. Now, when we talk about job titles, what is a job title? Job title tells people what you do. Your job title actually tells people what you do. But your purpose tells people why you exist. Let's get the difference here. Your job title tells people what you do. So for instance, I'm a nurse, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an engineer, I'm a content creator, I'm this and that. All these are job titles. These are things you can learn and become. But your purpose is why you exist. And the earlier we begin to understand the difference between these two, the better for us. Now, your job changes. For some persons now, you've actually worked in different organizations, different industries, and you will still work in many other different industries before you leave the surface of this earth. But your purpose remains the same. Purpose is the reason why God brought you into this world. He allows you to take up different job roles, and he hopes that in your journey through life, you will discover the reason why you're here, and you will live based on that purpose. So your job changes, but your purpose remains. I want you to take that down. Your job changes, but your purpose remains. Now, let me start by telling you what my own purpose is. And that will set a tone for the conversation tonight. Now, I discovered very early in life that I derive so much joy in seeing people get better, in seeing people become happy. I discovered this very early in life, that I have this eternal joy I feel whenever I'm able to contribute to the happiness of somebody else, whenever I'm able to help somebody gain clarity. Now, the question would be, how? How did you come about this? Did God minister to you? Did a pastor lay hands on you? Were you impacted? Did somebody tell you? Did you dream about it? The answer is absolute no. And some of the things I did are the things I'm going to suggest to you also, which I believe will help you in your journey to purpose discovery and also living a fulfilled life. Now, back forward to my nursery and primary school days, I discovered that I derived so much joy in standing up in class and helping my fellow students learn about one thing or the other. I was privileged to sit under the teachings of amazing teachers who trusted me with, the class in most cases, and I would always, stand in front of the class and I want to put them through, okay, teach them one thing or the other. Now, that was at nursery level, primary level. I got into secondary school. I was privileged to also get the chance to teach in the Sunday school, even as a child. I'm not talking about a teenager, even as a child. Now, let me just give a little story of how it happened in church. Now, we had a children teacher who lived very far from the church. So because of that, she comes a bit late most times. And before she comes to church, all the children will be playing around, running around, just having a good time while we wait for her. One day I woke up and I discovered that I was not happy with the situation of things. Seeing my fellow children running around on every Sunday while we were waiting for our teacher. So I went to church that day and I gathered everybody. I told them to sit. I picked up our church manual. I could read very well at that point, so I started teaching. I didn't have the full knowledge of what I was teaching, but I derived so much joy watching my fellow children listen to me while they are learning. Guess what? That day our teacher came in and I handed over to her. The next time she came in, I handed over. I kept handing over to her until she decided to give me the platform to teach, even while she is present. And that was how I kept impacting the lives of these ones without even knowing what I was doing. Now, this is what happens when you discover your purpose. On your journey to discovering purpose, you must pay attention to some key things I'm going to be mentioning tonight. And I'm so confident that if you truly pay attention to these things, the case of purpose discovery will become so easy that you would be the one advising and encouraging others. Now, let me say this before we move forward. If your identity is tied to your job title, every transition will feel like a funeral. If your identity is tied to a job title, every transition will feel like a funeral. Let me explain this. Many persons have tied their lives so much around their job. And that is why they stay in a toxic environment, a toxic work environment, and they can't leave because somehow they have made their job their life. So that is why whenever they are meant to transition to a different job, it looks as though something has died in them. That is an error, because if your job title is not your identity, it can be a vehicle that helps you express yourself, but that is not the reason why you're here. Okay, so let's talk about why people get lost. Why people get lost in their journey to purpose discovery, in the quest to seek for direction. Why do people get lost? I'm trying to rush things so I don't overstretch my time. Okay, now why do people get lost? A friend asked me recently, a young friend of mine asked me recently, he said, why do I seem to have peace in chaos? Now that was after I shared some of my past experiences, how I was somehow defrauded. Some persons got they were expecting me to go crazy. I felt this inner peace. I was so calm and quiet. Okay? I was so calm and quiet. Okay, so sorry about that. So they were so surprised that even when I lost my phone, people were concerned on my behalf. People felt bad on my behalf. They were so, sad on my behalf. But the person that lost the device, I felt this peace. And people were asking, why do you always feel peace even in the midst of chaos? Now, there's a place for God. Of course, God gives me this peace 100%. But there are some things also that has made me see life differently. And these are the reasons why you feel lost most times. Number one, that speaks purpose. There are 4 voices that drowns your purpose. Number one is what? Expectations. Expectations people have on you and the expectations you have on people. Now, anytime you want to take an action, you begin to ask yourself, what are people expecting me to do? What kind of clothes are they expecting me to wear? What kind of intonation are they expecting to hear? What kind of facial expression are they expecting to see? You are so much concerned about what people think about you that you lose your originality. At every point in time, you are tweaking things, you are trying to maneuver things just to satisfy people. You are so worried about the expectations of people that you're not willing to pay attention to your own self. I wrote a book recently and I titled it You Self Don't Try. And what I hope to achieve, or what I achieved with that book, is to make people see how well they are doing for themselves. To make people see that they deserve to love themselves, they deserve to be happy, they deserve to celebrate themselves. Most times we are so concerned about what people are saying about us that we fail to appreciate even the good things we are doing. And that is why I tell people it's good to get feedback, but know how to filter feedbacks. Because most feedbacks are there to destroy you and not to build you. So that is one of the voices that can get you lost in your quest to discovering purpose. Number 2 is comparison. Comparison. Now, I made a statement when I started that I have been privileged to coach, mentor, and direct a whole lot of persons who are doing so well today. And the truth is that if you look at some of these people from the outside, you might even think that they are doing better than I am. Yes, if you look at most of them, you might say, if you coach this person or you mentor this person, how come he's richer than you? How come he's doing this? How come he's doing that? Guess what? Whenever you tell me things like that, I feel happy, because the joy of every teacher is to see that his student is doing even better than him. There is no reasonable father that will pray that his or her child should actually do bad. No reasonable father will make such prayer. So I feel so much pride seeing people succeed. When I see the likes of CJ do the things he does today, I feel so happy to have contributed a quota in building the man he has become today. So when you begin to compare, he did this, I've done that, they've done this, I have not been doing, you begin to doubt, you begin to kill yourself, you begin to drown yourself. You see yourself jumping from one thing or the other, trying to get validations. So that's the number 2 voice that can get you lost in your journey to discovering purpose. Comparison. Trust me, I tell myself all the time that our fight is different. Our fight is different. Now, there are some persons who are living in a 3-bedroom flat while you are still living in a self-contained, and you think you're not doing so much, you think you're not doing well. But guess what? You struggle, you worked to earn the money that helped you in renting that self-con. But who knows? That person might have received maybe 90% or even 100% of his or her rent from a parent or uncle. Now, in that situation, who do you think is actually doing better? You, of course. But the reality on ground is that he's enjoying life. But there's no level ground at that point. Okay? So comparison is the second voice that can get you lost in your journey to discovering purpose. You need to fight that voice. Number 3 is survival. Survival. Now, there is a narrative that is currently ongoing, which to a large extent I support, but I would always want to put a caveat. Now, people tell you that, oh, forget about purpose. You need to make the money first. Purpose can come later. Fine, that's good. I believe that suggestion comes from the place of care. They're interested in your welfare. They don't want you to suffer in your purpose. They don't want you to struggle in your purpose. They want you to, first of all, have a good life. But trust me, in fact, nobody knows when he or she is leaving this world. Nobody knows. That is why it is too risky to live your life without direction. Yes, it gives you more fulfillment when you are making that money in your purpose. So while I support that you can actually start with something while you transition to your purpose, but make sure first of all you have discovered the purpose. Ensure that you discover the purpose. Then gradually you can begin to bring it into manifestation. You begin to bring it into reality. For instance, if your purpose is something that does not guarantee you instant income, you can of course start something, develop love for that thing, do it to a point where it can earn you enough money, and gradually you begin to manifest and give out your purpose. So survival is another voice that comes. Survival can make something look like your purpose, but it is not. So you have to be very careful. When you see yourself, journeying on a particular path, you need to be very careful to differentiate between survival and the real purpose. Am I doing this for now, just to maybe survive while I transition later? Don't mistake your survival mode for your purpose. The next one is fear. Fear is another voice. Many persons are so scared of living out their purpose. Many people are afraid of living out their purpose. Fear can distract you. Fear can deceive you. Fear can confuse you. You are scared of taking that risk. You are scared of even starting the journey. So I just mentioned my own purpose, which is helping people get better. It comes with a cost, or at a cost. Yes. Now, anybody that knows me very well will know I project people over profit. It is not an easy path to take. Because most times you see people earning better than you do when you are even doing better than them. Okay? Now, let me say this. Most people are not lost because they lack direction. Most people are not lost because they lack direction. They are lost because they are following directions that were never theirs. So you see lots of persons who are living out other people's life. They are doing, things based on people's recommendation, people's validation, what people expect from them. So some people, their problem is not the lack of direction. It's just that they are allowing the wind of life. They are allowing the opinions of people to determine the kind of life they live. So you see somebody that wakes up in the morning and this is a particular dress he or she is very much comfortable with. But he comes outside and asks people, oh, how do you see this dress on me? Does it fit me? This one says yes. This one says no. The other says yes. He gets confused. Before you know it, he runs back inside, brings out a lot of clothes and starts selecting again. Now, this is trying to get validation. And most times, this opinion does not even reflect the right thing. So you are trying to live other people's life. Now, you bought a particular car today, and you are so happy, you are celebrating until you see a friend that buys a bigger car. And all of a sudden, you begin to feel you are behind. You begin to feel that your own is not good enough. You are now striving to get that other car. It distracts you. So this is not you lacking direction at this point. This is you trying to live a life that is not originally yours. So I have a formula for confusion. Now, confusion is other people's voices greater than your inner convictions. Now, when you allow people's voices to be greater than your inner convictions, it leads to confusion. You are very sure of this, but at the same time, you allow people's opinion to overshadow what you are very sure of. Now, I want us to be more practical. Remember back then in school, for those who are graduates already, in secondary schools especially, when you have a very brilliant student in class, you've done your assignment, you are very sure you got the assignment correctly, and you came to school and you decided to check some of your classmates' book, especially that one you consider very brilliant, only for you to see that his or her answer is different from yours. I don't know, I need somebody to indicate in the comment section if you've ever done this. Now, you check their book and you notice that the answer is different. And at that point, you begin to doubt the answer you got initially. You begin to consider changing your own answer. In fact, sometimes you even start rewriting what you've written before just to get that person's answer. If you know you've done such before, I would love to see that in the comment section. I want to know if we have such persons here who have ever at any point changed the answers just to fit in or just to align with what they consider the answer from someone they consider better than them. Now, let me give us the purpose compass. The purpose compass. I really need to rush because of time. Let me give us the purpose compass. Number one, in your journey to discovering purpose, these are things you must look at. These are things that make up a perfect purpose. Number one is what your gift. Number one is your gift. What are those things that comes naturally to you? Your gift. The things that comes naturally to you. Now, these are things you don't struggle to do. These are things you don't even need to go to school to learn them. You don't need to be taught, for you to do these things. For instance, we have singing. For instance, we have dancing. We have a whole lot. Helping people, teaching people. These are things that come naturally. For me, I teach naturally. It's something I find so easy. It's something I find so, except for little trainings I've undergone. I won't say I've actually gone, I didn't do education in school. I've never done that before, but I've seen myself at different levels teaching. It's something that comes naturally to me. I teach in church, I teach in school, I teach everywhere I find myself. I try to impart knowledge. So this is something that comes naturally to me. It's a gift. So you should also look inward to find out that thing that comes naturally to you. And mind you, it must not be something very big. That little thing you've neglected so far might be that gift that can actually, translate to your purpose. Now, number two is your burden. What problem breaks your heart? If I come into a place and ignorance thrives, I feel so burdened. If I come into a place, in fact, so far, when I look at the situation of things in the country most times, especially among some youth, I feel so bad. Now, you don't see me worrying about, the situation of things. I just come to a place and I listen to some young persons, talking in a particular manner that indicates that they're ignorant. I feel bad. It bothers me. It's not supposed to be my concern because these people are not related to me, but I just wish I can somehow help them out of that confusion. I can help them gain clarity. I can bring knowledge to them. And most times I do. Because that is my purpose. That's what drives me. So, burden, what is that thing you love so much that you hate seeing them being done badly? What is that thing? Now, number three, impact. Impact. Who becomes better because you exist? In your journey to discovering purpose, you must pay attention to impact. Who becomes better because you exist? This is one thing I pride myself in. Yesterday, I had one of my young friends, a mentee, come around to clean my new apartment, and I felt so happy having her do that. Yes, I paid her. I gave her the contract. I said, come and clean my new place for me. Now, do you know why I felt so happy? I was the person that recommended her to learn that skill. In fact, I single-handedly picked her, handed her over to someone who taught her, and today it is feeding her even as a student. So I felt so proud of myself when I called her, paid her, and asked her to do that work. It gave me so much joy. Yes, I was spending money. She didn't do it for free, but I was so happy with myself because I know I contributed to that part she has taken. I've impacted her life. I have so many other persons today who would not complete their success story without mentioning my name. That is because I am living out my purpose. So there's a joy that comes when you live out your purpose. And you don't need to pretend about it. You don't need to copy anybody. Do your own thing and you'll see yourself enjoying life. Now, purpose lives at the intersection of what you carry effortlessly and what you cannot ignore. I repeat, purpose lives at the intersection of what you carry effortlessly and what you cannot ignore. Purpose is found in between them. What you carry effortlessly, that's your gift, and what you cannot ignore, that is your burden. In between is what? Purpose. So let me talk about the 3-lane life audit. These are the 3 things you need to do if you must discover purpose. Remember, we've established that purpose is not a title, okay, a job title. Purpose is not a job title. Please don't tell me your purpose is to be a policeman. No, your purpose can be to secure the lives of brought you here, to ensure that everybody around you stays safe. Then police can become a vehicle to helping you fulfill that purpose. So don't tell somebody my purpose is to be a policeman, my purpose is to be a pastor. No, your purpose is not to be a pastor. Your purpose can be to liberate the lost souls by preaching Christ. That is your purpose. That is your purpose. Pastor is not your purpose. Lawyer is not your purpose. Policeman, soldier, doctor is not your purpose. It is what you were called to do in that field that is your what? Purpose. So let's look at the 3-lane audit. Now I have a slide I should have projected, but what I'll do for you, for those online especially, is I'm going to give you a chance to reach out to me after now. If you're interested in getting this slide, it will give you more clarity. Then I'll send it across to you, if that's okay by you. Now, these are the 3-lane life audit. 3 things you need to check if you really want to discover purpose. Number 1 is, what gives me energy? What gives me energy? What is that thing that pumps up my adrenaline? What is that thing that makes me happy? What is that thing I can be doing right now and I feel so much happy? I put in so much effort. That is one of the lane. Number 2, what drains me? What drains me? What is that thing you can give your all for? What is that thing you can press so hard into? What is that thing you can pour your heart so much that even when you are weak, you still see yourself doing it and you're not complaining? I can talk like this for 5 hours. I can talk for as long as I'm giving. If you tell me to sleep from now till 12 a.m., I can do it happily. Even if I'm tired, I can still talk, because that is what gives me joy. That is what I'm called to do. That is what I have decided to do. Now, the number 3, which is most important, is what must change in your life. In your journey to discovering purpose, what must change? You must decide on what you need to change if you must discover purpose. Now, note this: purpose leaves clues. Energy. Okay, so yeah, sorry for that. Now, this is it. Please take note of that. Purpose leaves clues. Very important. Now, let's quickly look at the alignment model. Please, I'm trying to rush up things. The alignment model. Most people chase success. Why successful people chase alignment? Most people chase success. Why successful people chase alignment? Now, these are the alignment models you need to pay attention to. Number one is who am I? Who I am. Now, that's your core identity and strength. Who I am. That is one thing you must pay attention to. See, you need to know yourself. You need to accept yourself. You cannot change a thing. You cannot change it. You cannot solve a problem you don't admit exists. I repeat, you cannot solve a problem you don't admit exists. What this means is that if you don't admit that you have headache, there is no way you will take a step to cure that headache. So you must know who you are. Accept who you are. Don't sugarcoat it. That's why most times I have issues with some religious persons. I usually tell my friends, I rebuke them most times. Some people, when they know they are broke, they'll tell you, I'm very rich. If you need money from me and you tell me you are very rich, I will congratulate you. Yes. If you come to me and tell me, oh, I'm very rich, please, can you give me one? I will tell you, congratulations, since you are very rich. You need to admit your current state, your current situation. You need to know who you are. If you are struggling in an area in your life, you need to admit it. So, number one is who I am. That is the number one alignment. Number two is what I value. That is your priorities that guides your choices, your principles, what you value. And please, if you must find direction without losing yourself, then you must define your values. You must define your values. As a person, I have my values. Nothing changes that value. Wherever I find myself, I hold it tight. That is my priceless jewel. My values, my principles. So I am not cut out for being shaken at any point. I hold on to my values jealously. So priorities that guide your choices. And it cuts across everything. There are things I cannot do, no matter who you are. You're asking me to do, I will not do it because it does not align with my value. For instance, I am not one, if as a leader, I am not one who is cut out to just give orders while I see it and watch others. No. Even if you make me the president of this country, you will see me on the field working with others. Yes, I have done it before on different platforms. Even if you say, oh, when I was growing up as a student in my GS classes, they had to make me class prefect so that I would stop sweeping class. I did roster. I would come to school early. Yes, my name was not on the roster because that was the standard. But I would still come earlier than other students. And because I cannot just sit and see the class because I'm the class prefect, I still pick up and I sweep. I later got to become the senior prefect of the school. I was still cutting grass with other students. When I started teaching as a teacher, even in a primary school, I was cutting grass with the children. That is because these are my values. It does not change. It does not change. And that is how it should be for you. Now, the next one is how I spend my time. That's another alignment. Your daily actions and your habits. These are things that will help you discover your purpose and help you live your purpose successfully. You must understand how you spend your time. You cannot say that your purpose is to help people get better, and at every point you are always in a place, or you are always caught in an act that even gets people around you worse than you met them. No, you must pay attention to how you spend your time. Now, the next one is the result you create, the outcomes. I'm so passionate about creating the right results. That's why if you come to me as an individual and we have any dealing, either mentorship, coaching, or any kind of relationship we're having, I have one goal. And that goal is that if you step out from my corner or you leave my space at any point, somebody somewhere will know that you came from somebody. In fact, they will say it clearly that this one has gone through the teachings of Solomon Otta. That's why I'm so proud of CG today. Whenever I boast about him, I brag with him. Most times sometimes whenever I just feel like being proud a little, I'll just tell people, do you know that CG at some point took my class? Do you know that this guy at some point bought almost all my courses? In fact, all my courses. Do you know how this guy bought my book? In fact, he had to come all the way from Ogun State to Lagos just to get a hard copy of my book. I pride in these things. I'm proud of it. Why? Because he's a successful guy today. He's a successful guy today. So I'm proud to say that this guy went through my trainings. He took my courses. I mentored him. I coached him at some point. Yes, so I'm interested in the outcome. That's why I say people over profit. Yes, I'm going to charge you very well. Actually, I'm going to charge you very well. But beyond the money you are paid, my greatest joy comes from seeing you succeed, seeing you get the results you are looking for. Okay? Now, the goal is not to become someone else. Please have it in mind. The goal is not to become someone else. The goal is to become impossible to distract from who you already are. Now, the essence of this class is not to now create one unique being from you. You are already unique. Everything that is needed to make you become who you want to be is already in you. So I'm not here to now bring a new being from you. No, it's already in you. What my goal is in this section is to make you see how unique you are to a point that nothing can distract you from who you are or you already are. Nothing can take your mind away from who God has already designed you to be. That is the goal for tonight. So nobody can come to me right now and tell me, oh, I want to help you. Oh, I want to create something out of you. Okay? I want to create something out of you. No. It's already in me. Okay? It's already in me. If anything must come out of me, it is something that is already within. Now, I want you to remember this. Please, if you are taking notes, take note of this. Your job is what you are paid for. Your job is what you are paid for. Please take note of it. Your job is what you are paid for. Somebody should type it for me, okay? Your job is what you are paid for. Your career is what you become known for. Your career is what you become known for. Oh, he became the manager of so and so bank. Oh, he became the first engineer to do this. Oh, he became the greatest. He became the greatest, let's say, surveyor. Now, this is what you are known for. You are known as an engineer. You are known as a doctor, as a nurse, and all that. Now, your peoples is what you will be remembered for. What you will be remembered for. Now, unfortunately, we live in a time when we only get to know some persons after they are gone. Sadly so. But I am still happy that most times when people die, we still have people that can come up and say, oh, this guy did this and did that while he was alive. This guy was the one that did this for me. Okay, I still feel, okay, that's fine. You understand? That's fine. But I wish people would be bold enough to talk more about, the impact people are having in their life, why the people are still alive. It will give me more joy seeing such happen. Okay, it will give me more joy seeing such happen. So I hope you took note of the three things I just mentioned. I said your job is what you are paid for, your career is what you are known for, or what you become known for, while your purpose is what you will be remembered for. So you can see that it is very important. So I will conclude with these few things. Okay, I will conclude with these few things. First, I want to ask a question. If your life spoke without words, please take note of this. You can answer in the comment section. If your life spoke without words, what purpose would people hear? Let's assume that you are living your life without talking. You didn't open your mouth to tell somebody this is my purpose. What purpose will people hear? Looking at the way you are living your life, looking at the things you do on a daily basis, looking at your actions and your inactions, what will people say is your purpose? I just want you to reflect on that and give an answer. Reflect on that and give an answer. Then take note of this as I wrap up. Take note of this. Number one, your purpose is not hiding from you. Nobody should tell you your purpose is hidden. It is there. It is staring at you on a daily basis. Your purpose keeps telling you, this is me here. I'm sitting at this corner. It is not hiding from you. That's number one. Number two, it has been speaking through your gifts. It has been speaking through your gifts. Your purpose has been speaking through your gifts. You are not just paying attention. It has been speaking through your gifts. Your purpose has been speaking through your frustrations. Your purpose have been speaking through your frustrations. I walk into a space and I see people acting anyhow, and I just want to somehow contribute to helping them gain clarity. It has been speaking through your frustrations. The next one, through the problems you keep noticing. You see that whenever you walk in, others are comfortable, nobody's talking about it, but somehow you noticed it. That is what? That is you. You know, that's your purpose calling. That is purpose calling. The problems you keep noticing, anywhere you walk into, once you enter there, you see that there is something that is not right. That is your purpose calling. Now, your purpose also is what it can be seen through the people you naturally help. That's the next one. Now, my encouragement for you is this: stop looking for a title. Titles will come naturally when you discover purpose. Title will come naturally when you are living out your purpose. I tell people till tomorrow, you can only predict or guess how much I have in my account. You can only assume. You can only assume. I tell people I don't need to occupy leadership positions for me to be able to express value. That is it. While some people are waiting for validations, they are waiting to be the head. They want to be made the head before they can actually feel among. You don't need all those things. Yes, titles are additions, they are rewards for a purpose well fulfilled. Okay, now waiting for somebody to lay hands on you. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you, yes, this is your purpose. Stop waiting for somebody to tell you, go on 3 days dry fasting while you are trying for you to discover. No, stop waiting for permission. Nobody has the power. Nobody has been placed to be the one to permit you. No, you don't need it. You don't need anybody's permission. Okay, now stop comparing timelines. Stop comparing timelines. Yes, some people discover theirs at very tender age. Some will discover theirs at later stage in their life. We are all living on different timelines. The fact that you have not gotten to that point does not mean that you're worse than the one that have gotten there. Some people started faster and they crashed, while others started later and they succeeded. Okay, so stop comparing timelines. Stop comparing somebody's 50 years with your 1 year in a particular thing. Okay, now the next one is what? The clearest path forward is not becoming someone else. Please, no matter how you admire me, I tell people a lot. People tell me, oh, I want to be like you. I tell them, no, you cannot be like me. They can never be someone else like me. That's just the truth. So stop trying. The best you can be is a photocopy of me, and I've never seen a photocopy better than the original. So you can never be. Don't try. Why? Because you don't even know what I do behind the scene to get the results you see. I can only tell you what I want you to know. So while you are striving, you are looking at my work, out there, and you are trying to imitate it, you are trying to copy it. You don't know the one I do behind the scene. Some people saw me recently and they are like, oh, I want to be like you. You are looking good. Oh, I love your kind of job. I tell them, I wish you know what I do. I wish you know the kind of stress I go through to deliver my job, to be able to earn what I earn, to be able to live the kind of life I live. I wish you know. If I sit you down and tell you, I show you the behind the scene process, what time I wake up, what time I go to bed, the things I need to do on a daily basis, you would just kill that wish immediately. So that is the same for every other person you admire out there. You see them succeeding, but they know what they go through to enjoy that result you are admiring. Okay, now you need to become yourself. Become yourself. Become a better version of you. And this can only happen when you accept that truly there is need for you to discover purpose, and purpose is beyond every title you can have. We can give you the president of this country. If you don't have a purpose, you actually pursue. You go there, embarrass yourself, and you become an object of ridicule. But if you calm down, allow yourself to go through life, observe and pay close attention to you, you will discover that there's a lot you can become. And you don't need any validation from anybody. You have it already in you. Remain the unique you, and you see yourself excel in life. I think with this 3 points of mine, I've not confused you. Rather, I've been able to transfer, simple ideas on how you can be able to discover and fully harness your purpose. Thank you so much, Mr. CJ, for having me. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so I guess there should be room for questions. So I think this is the best time to drop questions if you have any. Um, drop questions if you have any, so I could take that up before leaving. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I really, really do appreciate. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. Okay.
All right.
So I'm going through the comment section right now. Some people said earlier that they couldn't hear me clearly. Please, did my voice later become better?
Can you hear me,
CG,
sir?
can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much, Chisom. Yeah, thank you so much. Can CG hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so do we have questions so I could take them? I had to actually speed up things so I don't encroach so much into the next speaker's time.
Yes, I can hear you.
The questions can come in. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so one thing I don't do so much is I'm not so good at giving rhymes. I know people most times love rhymes when you're teaching, but I choose to.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much, sir. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you, though not so
All right.
loud.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So while we are waiting for the questions, I want to say a very sincere thank you for pouring again to us. Whenever I get the opportunity to talk to people, especially those who learn directly under, I let them know that the fact that you find yourself in one profession or the other does not mean that you are living in purpose, right? And the fact that you are making money does not necessarily mean that you're actually living in purpose, because most times we make money out of the desire to get out of survival mode, right? But when we talk about purpose, purpose is actually driven by the desire for significance. And in as much as you can make money from literally anything, as long as you are diligent at it, although the rate at which you make the money and the speed at which you make the money might differ depending on the vehicle that you are leveraging. I feel like true fulfillment actually comes when you are living at the epicenter of your purpose. In Christian parlance, we call it living at the epicenter of God's will for your life. And one of the things that you said that particularly like struck a chord with me was when you said that it's good to take feedbacks, but you should learn to filter your feedbacks, because sometimes people give feedbacks not because they like you. Some people give you feedbacks just because they are envying you. And the truth of the matter is we live in a world whereby people want you to do better, but they don't want you to do better than they are doing. All right. And so it's important to be discerning when someone is actually giving you feedback. You should be able to discern where that feedback is coming from, whether it's coming from their true desire for you to grow, or it's coming from their desire to keep you at the level with which that they are. Thank you very much for that. And I also like the fact that you broke your points down in such a way that we would understand. When you're talking about the four voices that drowns people, you said first one is expectation. So people tend to live up to the expectation of others. And the truth of the matter is you cannot satisfy people. So for every time you try to meet the expectation of others, they will raise the bar for you. So you'll be in that circle of constantly chasing to, meet up to their standards. You also talk about comparison and survivor and fear. So thank you very much. I am deeply grateful for that you decided to honor our invitation. I'm checking the comment section and I can't see any question. I believe that there are no questions. So after the session tonight, I'm going to share your contact with the community so that they can reach out to you for the slides that you promised to share with them. I hope that's fine, sir. Awesome. Thank you very much, sir. So I'm going to reach out to you in DMs. I think the next speaker is on the call. So thank you very much, sir. We are sincerely grateful. We are grateful that you decided to come forward to us from your wealth of knowledge and experience. Thank you so much. May the Lord God bless you. All right, sir.
Thank you so much for having me, and I wish you all the best.
All right, guys. So if you can still hear me, please drop it in the comment section. Our next speaker is here for us. You can hear me, please drop it in the comment section that you can hear me. And then we're going to bring our next speaker live on the call. All right, so I believe you guys are having fun so far. Right, apologies once again for the technical glitches. Right, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker now. And as I do that, I want you to pay attention to what he's going to be discussing with you. I met this guy in, I think that was 2022 at the conference in Benin. So that was 2022, 2023. I can't recall now. And before that, I had been hearing about him casually on the online space. But when I met him in Benin and we actually talked and engaged, it was completely like it was like the testimony of the Queen of Sheba when she went to visit Solomon. That the things that I've heard about you is not like it does not do justice to the wisdom that overflows through you. So it's someone that I really really respect, right? He's passionate about helping young people grow intentionally and make wise decisions that shape their future. If you are a graphic designer, you should have come across him, right? So you understand that purpose is not just about finding what you're called to do, but also about becoming the kind of person who can steward that calling well. Tonight, you'll be speaking on making your life count, growth, discipline, and financial wisdom. So he's one of those young guys out there that I can say that, yeah, he's making money. All right. So he's having a bit of network issues.
as soon as he joins in, we are going to bring him live. But while we wait for him, I want to tell you why this session is particularly very important for you. Right. I actually brought someone who is very young to come and share on this topic, because I feel like if I bring an older person, you might think, oh, it took them time to, this is what they used to tell us. They'll just come and give us motivations, aspire to aspire to Maguire before you retire and all of those stuff. All right, but this guy is in his mid-20s. And when I say in his mid-20s, you don't want to imagine what his age is. And I cannot begin to tell you the kind of impact that he has on the online space. He's one of those guys that, engaging with him, I can vouch for the fact that if not 7 figures monthly, he makes multiple 6 figures monthly. And not just him, he helps other people to do that. Now, I'm bringing him on board because I want you to see what life looks like when you take your life seriously from a young age, and when you commit to doing the things that would actually help you get results. And that's why it's going to be talking on growth, discipline, and financial wisdom. You're going to be learning how that if you do not build the discipline required for the kind of life that you want to live, right, you would end up not getting anything. You will end up not getting anything. So I need you to pay attention, not just pay attention, take notes. And while taking notes, I want you to actually do what is called write out actions that you're going to begin to take, after this session. Sorry, admin, is it live now? Can you please bring him on? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever wondered how to live more intentionally, develop the habits, manage your resources wisely, and build a life of lasting impact, then this session is for you. Join me in welcoming my brother and friend, Joseph Toshi. Big man, welcome. Can you hear me, Joseph? Okay, I cannot hear you. Okay, guys, so I think he's having a bit of network issues from his end. Just give us some time. We'll go on a quick 30 seconds break just to ensure that everything is fine from his end, and then come back. Don't go anywhere, stay here.
I had to check my mindset, cause new levels don't fit old presets. Asking God for increase, still thinking in defeat. That's like praying for harvest, then refusing to plant seeds. Nah, we don't just quote it, we become it. Faith is structure, vision with substance. Purposes and vibe is a stewardship. Calling isn't status, is discipleship. See, everybody wants the crown, nobody wants the crushing. Everybody wants the oil, nobody wants the pressing. But the wine flows when the grapes break. You don't build legacy by taking every escape. I told fear, move, I told doubt, shift. If God put it in my hands, then I won't drop the gift. New wine, new wine, new wine, yeah, yeah. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we're changing, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. Drop Copy-paste culture, everybody's a clone. Trying to wear another man's calling like it's sewn to the bones. But authenticity, that's kingdom currency. Cause David killed giants without Saul's security. I don't need your lane, I just need my assignment. Purposes and popularity, it's alignment. Excellence matters, preparation matters. When opportunity knocks, character answers. Look, prayer without work, that's presumption. Work without God, that's exhaustion. We need both, the spirit and the strategy, the fire and the discipline, the grace and the mastery. So when they ask what changed, tell them my mind renewed, my vision grew, my circle shifted, my priorities moved. New wine, new skin, I made. Make room for the dreams he planted. Make room for the person you're becoming. No more shrinking, no more hiding. If he called you, start walking. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sideline. God's been calling it a lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If I change it, let it start inside. Activate on this throwing time. Activation. Yeah, activation. When we build activation. New wine, activation. We move. Yeah. Activation. New wine. Let's move. New wine, new minds. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling here the lifeline. This is our season. This is prime time. Yeah. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation. Let's do or die. I had to check my mind.
All right. I'm so sorry for the short break. We are experiencing a technical issue from our end. So, Joseph, are you here now? Can you hear me? Hello, Joseph, can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Joseph, are you talking? I cannot hear you. Okay, sorry, guys. Apologies. We'll have to go off again to just sort out.
assignment. Purposes and popularity, it's alignment. It's alignment. Excellence matters. Preparation matters. When opportunity knocks, character answers. Look, prayer without work, that's presumption. Work without God, that's exhaustion. We need both, the spirit and the strategy, the fire and the discipline, the grace and the mastery. So when they ask what changed, tell them my mind renewed, my vision grew, my circle shifted, my priorities moved. New wine, new skin, I made. Make room for the dreams he planted. Make room for the person you're becoming. No more shrinking, no more hiding. If he called you, start walking. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sideline. God's been calling it a lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If I change it, let it start inside. Activation, it's throwing activation. Yeah, activation. And we build activation. New wine, activation. We move. Yeah. Activation. New wine. Let's move. New wine, new minds. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling here the lifeline. This is our season. This is prime time. Yeah. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation. Yes, do or die. I had to check my mindset, cause new levels don't fit old presets. Asking God for increase, still thinking in defeat. That's like praying for harvest, then refusing to plant seeds. Nah, we don't just quote it, we become it. Faith with structure, vision with substance. Purposes and vibe is a stewardship. Calling is and status is discipleship.
Hi, Joseph, can you hear me now?
Okay, please, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Prayer band
Awesome,
has really
awesome.
prayed for us.
Honestly, it's like my village remembers me today. I don't really know why my mic couldn't connect, and I kept trying, it didn't work. I'm so sorry about that.
All right, it's
I'm
no
here. I'm here
problem.
now. I'm here
Thank you
now.
very much. So I'm just going to go backstage now and allow you to do your thing, okay?
Okay. I can go on now, but
Yes, you can go on now.
all right. Please, I don't know. I won't be able to on my camera because of the technical issues I'm having. The other time I
No
tried it, I
problem.
noticed that
That's fine.
my mic.
That's perfectly fine.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Good evening, everybody. Is there any way I can see people's conversation? Is there any way I can see people's conversation?
Okay. Yeah, the technical department will be putting the people's comments on the screen for you to see.
Okay, because I wanted to see some reactions before I could continue, because I feel like I'm the only one here.
No, you're not the only one.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, so today, all right, thank you. All right, awesome. So I've been asked to come and talk on how to make your life count, with major focus on discipline, growth, and wealth. You mentioned wealth, wisdom, or something like that, right? So I'm just going to call it money. So we're going to explore three of them. These are three different topics, but I'm going to try to bring it all together in these few minutes that we have, right? Talk about growth, talk about discipline, and then we'll talk about money. If you're ready for this session, please let me. Okay, I can see Ricardo made it. Let me just see some emoji on this session on the comment section, please. If you're ready, let me just see some emoji. Let me see some emoji. I want to see some emoji up before I continue. Do I have some people here? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's just run because there's no more time. All right. So at the end of this session, you're going to be able to know why some people keep growing in their skill or in their industry while others remain stuck. All right. So I need you to just pay attention. And there's a way I want to reframe that topic so that you understand it better, right? And because I'm going to be focusing more on how to upgrade what you're doing now, right? How to upgrade your capacity in what you're doing right now so that your life can be more significant, right? So if I'm to rephrase that topic, I would call it the capacity upgrade, right? Building a life that can carry significance. You can just write it down. The capacity upgrade, building a life that can carry significance. Because let me start from discipline, building the right discipline that can actually give you the kind of results you're looking for. Because I've had a lot of people come to me and tell me they want to make money online and so on, something like that. They want to start earning online. Even as of yesterday, someone messaged me and was asking me that she wants to start remote work and so on and so forth, right? And many times what people usually ask is, how can I make money online? But that's not the right question, right? I'm gonna at the end of this session, I'm going to tell you the right question you should be asking, because you don't ask how you can make money online. Many times making money is just a byproduct of the other things, right? So I'm going to say that the problem is that most people, I'm going to link it to the theme of this conference, which is a new wine, right? And I think it was gotten from the book of Luke, the Bible, the new wine skin and old wine skin, where Jesus was giving a parable to the people. Right? Most times people want new wine inside old wine skin. Right. And when I say old wine skin, just imagine it as a bottle, right? You using a new bottle and an old bottle, and you want to pour the new drink that you bought inside the old bottle that have rusted. And many times it is not going to give you the best result. Like, just imagining it in real life, it doesn't just make any sense. And that's why many people stay broke. Many people stay stagnant in what they are doing, right? Many people want to make more money, or let me just many people, you're here, you want to make more money, because I'm not sure there's anybody here who does not want to make more money. So you want to make more money, you want to get more opportunities, right? That's what many people usually ask. Like I said, people do message me and say, what can I do to start making money? What skill should I learn to start making money? They don't even mind what's the skill, whether they're interested in it. They just want to start making money. They don't even know how they can contribute value in that space. They just want to know that this thing can give them some revenue or some income, right? But that's not the right question. The right question I usually ask people is, who must I become to sustain what I'm praying for, right? Who must I become to sustain what I'm praying for? Or who must I become to get the results that I'm wishing for? Right? I don't like to say wishing, but the result that I hope to get, or it's still correct anyway. So who must I become to sustain what I am praying for? That's usually the right question you have to ask. Because for you to become someone who is making certain amount of money, I tell people that there's no amount of money you can imagine that you cannot make, right? No matter the skill you are doing, I don't know the skills that you people do, like so those of you here, but no matter the skill you're doing, whether you are into content, whether you're into design, whether you're into any kind of discipline, right? Whether you're even a civil servant or you are building a business, there's no amount of money you can imagine right now that you cannot make, right? Just that it may not be for the person that you are currently, might require you to do certain things to get to certain level, right? Intentionally, before you can get those kind of deals. There are deals that are worth millions of naira today that it doesn't even take anything to get them. Do you get? But then there's someone you have to become to be able to get those deals, to get access to those deals, right? Is someone following me? So I'm going to ask you a question now. There's one question I want to ask. How many of you want to make more money in the next 12 months? Or let me not say more money. How many of you want to make let's say you're making 100K plus today. How many of you want to make like 500K plus every single month consistently for the next 1 year or for the remaining part of this year? Or how many of you want to make, let's say you're already doing 6 figures. How many of you want to scale up to 7 figures to 8 figures in the next 12 months? 12 months is a big time, like say next year, right? How many of you want to scale up to that? All right. I say I want. All right. So the thing is, this is the question, the second question that you should also add to it. Like what I said before, if you want to make so much money, like more than what you're making right now, how many of you have written down plans for becoming more valuable in the next 12 months? Let me just use 12 months, right? I want to make 1 billion sharp. It's possible because maybe Elon Musk made 207 billion in 24 hours. So 1 million naira is still small money, if we're comparing to that. So how many of you have written down plans for becoming more valuable in the next 12 months? Because actually, most times that is the gap, right? How valuable can you become to people? Because the more valuable you are to people, I'm not here to share value kind of message, but just listen to me, right? But usually that is just the only gap. So many times, instead of asking, how do I make more money this year? You should be asking, who do I become to be able to command this certain result that I want? And then you have to be intentional about what should I do? This is what I should start doing. This is what I should do every single week. This is my target for this platform. This is what I want to achieve on this platform. I want to start building this community. I want to start building this audience and be giving them certain things, certain resources. Like there has to be a plan, or I have to start learning this skill. I know how to design, but I don't understand marketing. I know how to edit videos, but I don't know how to really communicate the value that I have. So that is a new skill. This is you taking steps to actually becoming that person that you want, or commanding that result you want, right? Like if I usually give people story back to my design days when I started learning design. I still do design now, but no, I do much more than just design now, right? But when I started learning design back in 2021, and my design used to be very bad then, right? Even as of 2022, my design was still not really nothing to write home about. So, one thing I did, right, because I got into a community and I saw that these people were pressurizing. You know that kind of pressure that they used to give you. You see that these people's work, like, it's far better than what you think you've been doing. Like when you get to certain groups and you realize that I've been playing all my life. Do you understand? So I began to see all that, and I made a decision that I'm going to design for the next 60 days, right? I'm going to design for the next 60 days non-stop. That was even when I started. It was from there I started doing some design challenges for people who want to learn design and want to master their skills, right? But what I'm saying is, in essence, that's just design as design concern. But then, if you want to achieve anything, you have to write that, okay, this is what I want to get, and this is how I'm going to do it, right? Because there's someone you have to become, and during those 60 days, I was able to learn much more than, because I realized that I wasn't consistent with what I was doing, but I just loved this skill, but then I didn't really know how to go about it. I didn't know, and then I'll just catch it immediately, right? And I realized that it's not really like that. So everything is about discipline. Everything is about showing up consistently around that same thing, right? So I I chose to do that for 60 days nonstop. I was designing every single day. Was I busy? I was still in school. I was busy. At some point, I was even writing an exam, right? But I still had to show up, get corrections from every single design. Made sure I get someone comment on the design. No, I don't mean comment on Instagram or like there are communities that actually engineer those growths, right? So I make sure I get people who have more experience than me to actually comment, tell me something about the design that I did today. And I did that for 60 days without stopping. And at the end of the day, I saw that my design improved. It didn't improve immediately, but that was actually what contributed to how my design journey really took a really a big shift and something like that, right? And also, if you get, I'm going to give you another example also in the Bible, right? When Jesus was living, when I say living, when he was doing his ascension after resurrection, when he was ascending, there was a very important thing that he told, instruction that he gave his disciples. He told them to go and wait, right? Go and wait for him at the upper room, right? And through the record, we saw that they waited for 10 days, right? They were in that room. They were not just folding hands waiting, they were praying for 10 days. Right? They were
All right. So sorry, guys. How many of us were enjoying the session before network pushed a speaker out? If you're enjoying the session, just type I am. I think I'm just going to pick it up from where it stopped. Oh, he's back. Joseph, can you hear me? Hello, Joseph, can you hear me? Hello, Joseph, can you hear me? All right. Well, the network. Okay.
Please, am I audible now?
All right. Can you hear me, Joseph? Oh,
CJ, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear
Can you hear
you.
me now?
Yes, yes. Yes, I can hear you. Please
Can you
carry
hear
on.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Thank you. I was thrown out of the call. I don't know, but I think I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Thank
Please carry
you.
on.
Okay, so I was trying to give an instance on what happened in the. All right. So what happened in the Bible when Jesus came out? Jesus came out from the. Sorry, Jesus after resurrection, before he ascended, he gave them instruction to go and wait for him because he knew that these people needed to become a certain kind of person or people before they can actually do the mission that he has sent them and get the result that he wants from them, right? And the first thing that happened is that um the first thing that happened is that Jesus taught them for 40 days before even that incident, right? He taught them for 40 days before actually ascending. So when it comes to really getting the results that you want, first thing you need to ask yourself is first thing that I need to change first, right, about you is the body of knowledge that you expose yourself to. First thing that must change about you is the body of knowledge that you expose yourself to. So Jesus gave them a certain body of knowledge that changed them. These were people that couldn't many and or something like that. They couldn't pray for one night, they were dozing. But the same people, after teaching them, the Bible says that he opened their understanding that they might understand that which the prophet had spoken about the Son of Man, right? Um, after that whole training, if I could call it that, or discipleship, they were able to see more reasons why they needed to pray more and to wait on him. Right. So I'm going to just move on from that. Then the second thing is the discipline and the activation. Right. I said the number one is the body of knowledge. You're going to change the body of knowledge that you expose yourself to. You cannot enter your next level with the same thing that you know, with the same body of knowledge, right? If you want to grow your results, first of all, you have to grow what you know, right? So these people, the disciples of Jesus were exposed to more knowledge, right? They had more depth of what it means to actually who Jesus is, what he came to do, and all of that, right? And then second thing, the discipline and the activation, right? Which was why they had to wait for 10 days before what happened, right? The point, Pentecost is actually now the outcome of everything that has happened before they now started their ministry fully. So this is just more like a full an introduction to the whole topic so I'm going to run faster now and give you more details on what I've prepared. And then we're going to talk about growth. Well, I should talk about growth, right? And the first thing I want to say about growth is that you cannot outgrow your execution capacity. You cannot outgrow your execution capacity, your capacity to execute, right? You cannot outgrow your execution capacity. And also, your result is determined by your ability to make things happen, right? Your capacity to make things, to engineer results. Do you understand? So when we talk about growth is not being busy. Growth is not the fact that, oh, I've been busy, I've been working, and all that. I've been doing this. I've been in this industry for 4 years, for 5 years. That doesn't mean you're growing. You can actually be doing something for 10, 30 years without actually growing, right? So growth, when we say growth is you increasing your capacity to create value. Growth is you increasing your capacity to create value, because the marketplace rewards value, not efforts. That's why someone can be doing a business for 5 years and is still struggling. Someone else will come 2 years, the person is already making millions, right? Remember the first thing I said, first thing is body of knowledge that you have access to, or body of knowledge you are now being exposed to, as opposed to what you used to know, what you used to know. Then secondly, when we talk about growth, your ability to create value, or your ability to increase your capacity to create value. Some people, that what they learned 5 years ago is what they are still doing now. Nothing has changed about them. The same thing 1 year ago, I'm even saying 5 years ago, because the world is moving too fast now. 1 year ago, you learned how to create flyers. Today, you're still creating flyers. Nothing has added. You have not learned how to really master marketing, how to communicate yourself better, how to put out yourself, how to create better content, how to build better relationships, like all this whole thing. Maybe if time permits me, I want to talk about some of them, right? But when we say growth is you constantly increasing your capacity to create more value every single time, knowing that is actually your main, that's what you're living for. That this is where I am this year, but in the next 6 months, this is where I want to be. And you're making plans to be around it. It's not just about, I want to make money online. What is trending? AI is trending. I want to learn AI, right? The funny thing that most of you who are, okay, let me not put that. But then the funny thing, let me just say it, right? The funny thing is that the way they are pushing AI to the people who are making money in AI are not those who are really learning how to generate something with AI. Is a different topic on its own, right? But then let's not go there. So I'm going to say something. 4 areas every young person must grow. 4 areas you must grow, because growth is not linear. Growth is multifaceted. That's not growth, right? You can learn one thing and say, okay, I've learned how to edit videos, and you keep editing videos. You master CapCut, and you keep learning CapCut for 10 years or for even 2 years. From even that, right? It's not just one thing that you do and you are faceted. So first thing, 4 areas you need to grow as a young person. 4 areas you need to grow. Number 1 is knowledge. You need to grow in knowledge. What do you know, and what problems can you solve? That's when we're talking about knowledge. What do you know, and those things you know, what problem is there? Any problem that you can solve for someone that you have discovered that, okay, this is the issue, this is the problem that these people are having, and this is how I can solve it. Skills. When we talk about skills, skill is your ability to execute, right? Because skill without knowledge without skill is theory. Knowledge without skill is theory. So you know something, but you can't execute it. You just know it, but you can't help knowledge. Every single day, ask yourself, how am I going to grow? I've been doing this, but have you really paused to ask yourself, how can I grow in this thing that I'm doing, and all that? So can you skill? You do it really well in a way that when people see, right? That's what I'm talking about. Skill. You are skillful at what I would say. Character, the factor, right? Yeah, I think character, right? Yeah, I remember. Character factor. So right. So but that's just another aspect of it though. But then number three, where you need to grow, right? Can people trust you to actually carry it out? Be focused on, but that's actually a byproduct. Who trust you to do something? Can they give you something and they know that when people recommend you, I just have to go and sleep, or are they going to come back and start calling him, picking my call? I gave him this thing to do. It's not like, can people really work with and gain from every single engagement or conversation, right? Growing in these things. Then number four, relationships. I don't know, maybe very important, right? Who do you know is different from, you might know someone, the actual, you know, a lot of people, you know, knows you. That's what we're talking about. Really, you really matters. What's the capacity of the people around you? All right, who can recommend you when they are looking for when they're looking for who to give opportunity? Who is the person that can recommend? Is there anybody having certain rooms that can say, okay, I know this guy, he's so good at this thing. He understands this thing. Just give it to him and all that, right? Because many opportunities move at the speed of relationship. Many opportunities move at the speed of relationships. There's this book by the founder of LinkedIn. I think the name is the startup of you. The startup of you. It was written by the founder of LinkedIn. I can't remember his name exactly, but I think Reid Hoffman. There were two of them. But then there's something he said in the book that was very, very, very profound. He said that companies do not hire people, or companies do not hire you, right? Brands do not give you jobs. It's actually people that give you jobs. It's people that hire you. At the end of the day, you have to speak to people, right? So it's not companies that are hiring you. When you talk about opportunity, or you want to start growing your page, you want to start doing something or achieving something, at the end of the day, you still need people, right? At the end of the day, see, the page that you're growing is human beings, is people that you need to interact with. So at the end of the day, everything you're doing is still come back to that, right? How does this affect people, or how is my relationship life, or relationship, or is anything like that? Yeah, how's my relationship life? And when I say relationship life, I don't just mean I don't mean romance or something like that. I mean your network. And maybe that's a better word for that, right? Your network. How strong is my network? Because that's what would determine whether you're going to grow. I don't know. Remember what I said it before, that at the end of this, you understand why some people keep growing and getting better at their skill, getting better results, while others keep stay stuck for years. Because most people ignore this. They just want to know, okay, I've learned this skill. Okay, you learned the skill, but then you've not learned all of these things. How is your character? How are you developing your skill? How is your relationship? Can you just say, okay, I'm attending this event in Lagos because I want to go and connect with people of high value. I'm attending this event in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Abia State because I want to go and connect with people and just get to know people for who they are or for what they do. All right. So the event is just one of it. There are several ways you can connect with people. The internet has made it very easy, right? And even apart from that, when people work with you, what kind of relationship do you build with them? Do you just, okay, I've sent this thing, then you take a screenshot, done and dusted. How do you ensure that you retain, or rather you sustain that relationship such that it can transcend into more transactions for you? Or you just take a screenshot and post online, clients review, and that is the end of the whole thing for you. So this whole thing matters a lot. Remember what I said, many opportunities that you're looking for move at the speed of relationship. Someone can just make a call, and why is he making the call? Because someone told him about you. Right? I can just reach out to someone and say, okay, or just someone can just say, okay, my friend will reach out to you. He's looking for a partner on this, or he's trying to get this done, and they will need your assistance. He will email you, and that's just the end. By the time you're sending the email, he's already aware that you're going to send the email. Everything is straightforward. But then when there's
Hello, Joseph, can you hear me? Oh, network. You people have to really, really pray. The devil is after your finances. Ah, which is very. So, all right. Yeah, the network is giving us a whole load of issue today, right? So the network is giving us a whole lot of issues, and unfortunately, we might have to stop here. We might have to stop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a chat with our speaker, and we might fix something for some other time. But for tonight, by the way, can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, just let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know in this comment section that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Anybody? 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 Can you hear me? All right, awesome. Thank you. So the network won't allow us to continue. But like I said, I'm going to have a discussion with him, and I'm going to see if we can work something out sometimes in the future. All right. By tomorrow, we believe that network will be better, and things are going to go seamlessly tomorrow. Is he back? So he's back. I think I'm just going to bring him up so that he can just round off for us. So please bring him up. Joseph, can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now, please.
Yes, awesome. So please just carry on. I was doing it for you.
Should I continue? Okay.
Yes, Joseph, you can continue, please. You can continue.
All right. Thank you. So oh my God, what did I say? Okay, I know, I remember. So I was talking about opportunity. Sorry, relationships and all that, right? So so I say that many opportunities move at the speed of relationship, and also growth happens when you expand your capacity, not necessarily when you keep looking for opportunities or where to make money. Growth happens when you expand your capacity to create value. So let me now talk about discipline, and if there's still time, we'll talk about money. But if there's no time, we can really wrap it up there. Right? The talk has done me really shitty things today, but let's just see how we can cover it up. So discipline. Let's talk about discipline. Discipline is simply the bridge between your potentials and your results. The bridge between your potential, what you can become, and what you are actually, right? Your potential and your results, right? Because many times we shout about learning skills and all that, but that's actually overrated. Learning skills, improving yourself, and all those kind of things like digital skills. They tell you to learn AI, learn this. All those things are overrated because the main thing is, can you actually stay consistent in those things, right? Skill is overrated. Consistency is underrated. You notice that people who have stayed consistent over the years, they are the people who are getting certain results. Not just the one who is jumping around and learning the US skill in town and something like that, right? So discipline is very important, right? An average person who is disciplined will get better results than a genius who is not disciplined or who is indisciplined. So at the end of the day, how are you able to coordinate yourself to actually do what you say you're going to do, because that's actually what discipline is. But many people know what they want, we don't know what they should do. But can you really get yourself to do those things? That's why we're talking about discipline, because discipline is doing what is necessary, even when it's not convenient. Doing what is necessary when it is not convenient, right? Then there are three forms of discipline that can change your life if you pay attention to just those three things, right? Three forms of discipline. Number one is time discipline. And when we talk about time discipline, we talk about your priorities. What do you pay attention to? Your priorities. Because everybody has 24 hours in a day. Everybody. We all have 24 hours in a day. So when we talk about time discipline, how do you manage your time? What are you doing? If you wake up, what's the most important thing on your list, right? And that's why we have many young people who are not achieving anything these days, right? Because once they wake up, the first thing they're carrying is TikTok. The first thing they're carrying is they enter Instagram reels, and then they're smiling for the next 2 hours. So how do you want to become exceptional? An exceptional person? You are the same person that say, I'm going to be putting out more content. Instead of you to wake up and you should be thinking about how to shoot videos. You should be thinking about, okay, this is the content how to script this video and shoot it before 12 p.m. today. But no, yeah, you woke up around 8 a.m. or let me say maybe something like that. Woke up around 8 a.m. and it is 10 a.m. You're still on TikTok. You're still swiping through WhatsApp status and learning from who is, or listening to who is not talking to you, and laughing at who is not making any joke to you. So how disciplined are you? Because distraction is one of the major thing killing our goals in this era. Distraction. Many people are distracted. Many people like this. If you do a study on this, you'll be shocked at the result you will get. So people are not stagnant because they lack money, or they don't have the willpower and whatever, and so stuff like that, or they don't even know what to do. They're just distracted because there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things to distract you. And as the days goes on, we are going to be having that even increase much more. So are you able to really ignore all of that happening around you and say, okay, this is what I'm going to prioritize? I know that Nigeria is falling apart and a lot of things are happening, but that's not really going to be my priority right now. My priority is in becoming who I have been assigned to become. Because at the end of the day, your first assignment is to become who you're supposed to be. Your life is your first project. Before any other thing, your life is your first project, right? So then number two, I said first one is time discipline. Number two is learning discipline, right? Learning discipline. Most people stop learning once they are done with school, right? There was a day I was reading something, because I read a lot of times, and then the day I was reading about this particular one, it's been years ago anyway, but I was reading something, and then one of my cousins saw me. He was around, and then we were on holiday because I came back home that period. This should be 2023. Yeah, came back that period for holiday, and was like, "What are you reading? Why are you reading?" Because he observed that I was always reading something, like almost always. I would always have a book in front of me and something like that. So he was like, "What are you reading? Are you preparing for any major exam and all that?" I'm like, "Do you only read when you have exam?" Because that's the mentality that the society gave, especially to those who are students, right? That when you are preparing for exam is when you should read voraciously. Then when you're done with the exam, just go and flex your life. Everything is over, right? But that's not how life works. Because the funny thing is, not in school, it's not more things. So when you say learning discipline, can you really put yourself together to pay attention to something and learn it to the end of it, right? To learn the depth of it. Because many times, people are not disciplined to learn. Sometimes people just look for what they can talk about, right? So are you able to put yourself down to learn what you are to learn what will move your life forward, or learn as many things as possible, actually, right? That number three, number three is your execution discipline. Number one is time discipline. Number two is learning discipline. Number three, execution discipline. Execution discipline, right? Because there's this popular statement that says knowledge is power, but that's not true. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. About skill before, that's what gives you power. The fact that it's in your head does not really contribute to anything, right? So applied knowledge is power, right? Because many people know what to do, right? But how consistently can you do it? You know what to do. Like a lot of you here, if I start asking you what can you do to make more money this year, all of you will teach me. Like you know exactly what to do, but why are you not doing them? That's where the issue comes. You know that you should put yourself out more. You've heard it a lot of times. You know that you should increase your knowledge. You know that you should improve your skills. You know you should do this or do that. Like you know a lot of things you ought to be doing, right? But why are you not doing them? You have 1,001 excuses for not doing it. 1,001. Like if I sit you down and start giving me reasons, you can give me in 10 seconds, you can give me 10 reasons why you are not doing what you're doing, what you want to do. So execution discipline. Can you discipline yourself to do what you want to do? So let me summarize with this this last point, right? So after everything I've said, right, when we talk about money, at the end of the day, money is a byproduct of your growth and your execution capacity. Money is a byproduct of your growth and your execution capacity. But when we say making money, it is the fact that you have been able to discipline yourself, to build yourself, and grow your capacity to create value for other people, right? Especially if you can create that value for other people at scale, that's where you now see real money. But this is another conversation anyway, right? So if you're asking questions around money and all that, stop asking how can I make money, right? The right question you should be asking is how can I become more valuable to people, right? You have an audience of people. How can I become more valuable to them? And we'll talk about growth. How can I grow this? But because there are many people, you are learning skills, you're doing this, and you're putting yourself out, but you know that you're not reaching the kind of people you need. So when we talk about growth, what should I do to start reaching the right people? Because there are people that let me just come back to this now. There are people that they are putting out themselves, right, or themselves. And where are they putting out themselves? On WhatsApp. And I was like, okay, you're putting your work on WhatsApp, you're doing this on WhatsApp. How many views do you have? You say I have 80 views, I have 100 views. Okay, this is June, we're in June now. Since this year started, have you ever thought to yourself, okay, how can I grow this audience to 500? Yeah, you want it, but why are you not doing it, right? Have you thought about, okay, how about I create something that can attract people to me and I can grow them to 500, I can grow them to 1,000? Because those who are having that view will have, because when it comes to money, is many times we'll see link it back to sales, and many times we'll say sales is a game of numbers. How many people can you reach for you to get that results, right? So how many people can see what you're doing? How many people can connect to what you're doing? How many people can you impact, right? There's this book, if you read this book, Millionaire Fast Lane, it talked about the law of effection, right? Which is that your income grows in direct proportion to the number of people you can impact. So you're doing this, you have 80 people seeing your status every day. How about growing to 800? It does not take much to actually do. You just have to build your capacity to create more value. It's as simple as that, right? When I did something like that was in 2023. Right, I was having I think 200 views and I got tired of it. So what I did, I just released one free ebook like that for creatives, and before the end of that month, my views grew to 800, like instantly. I did an event for it, invited speakers, and then we did the promotion. Before the end of that month, my view grew. I got a lot of contacts from that. My view grew to 800 before the end of the month. This was in 2023, right? So that when we're talking about growth, these are things you need to check. So this is where you are. How can you grow from this to that place that you want to be, right? So stop asking how can I make money and start asking how can I become more valuable to more people. Like say that how can I become more valuable to more people, because money flows towards value, right? Money flows towards value. So that's what I'm going to say about that's what I'm going to say about when it comes to money and all that. Then to summarize, because I've already exhausted my time. So to summarize, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to give you three questions you can ask yourself, right? If you can answer these three questions, then you're already winning, right? So you can write it down actually, this exercise now, right? It's an exercise. You can just write it down. Number one is, what must I stop doing now? Because at the end of every conversation you're having with anybody, right, especially when it comes to sessions, conferences, and all that, you should always be able to ask these three questions. And if you don't have any answer to it, you've wasted your time, right? Number one is, what must I start doing now? What must I stop doing now? And number two is, what must I start doing now? Is opposites, right? What must I stop doing now as regards to what you've heard, right? Number two, what must I start doing now? Then number three, who must I become? Number three, who must I become? Right? You know who you want to be, you know what you want to achieve this year. At the beginning of the year, you wrote your plans, your goals, and all that. You know everything as you wrote it. But it's like when you're looking at those lists that you wrote, it just doesn't make sense to you again, because you feel like, okay, be like, this year don't finish, let's start next year again. And you can recycle that pattern for the next 5-10 years. And by the time you realize that you're wasting a lot of time, a lot of things have gone and you cannot really recover those time again, right? So because after asking these three questions, if you can answer them, number one, what must I stop doing? Number two, what must I start doing today? Right? You can add today to it. It will make it more urgent. Then number three, who must I become? Right? Who must I become? Currently, let's say you're making 200K monthly, you're making 100K monthly. Who must I become to start making 500 monthly? Who must I become to increase it to 7 figures monthly? Right? Who must I connect with? That now depends on what you really need to do, where you need to improve based on what we've discussed earlier, right? Because your next level is hiding right inside the answers to those questions. Your next level, I'm going to say it one more time. Your next level is hiding inside the answer to those questions. What you will stop doing today, what you start doing today, and who you must become to achieve who you want, or to achieve what you want for yourself. So I'm going to call it a wrap here. And I don't know if there's any question or something like that. CJ there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for the session. I actually like the fact that despite the network trying to do its own mess and all of that, you were able to really like drive home your points, right? Um, the questions, what must I stop doing now? Because the truth of the matter is, I said something some time ago. I said that anything that is taking your focus away from what you're supposed to be doing, even if it is good, is a distraction, right? If it's taking your focus away from what you should be doing, then it's a distraction. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are very busy, but that's just what they are busy, not productive. And being productive is different from being busy. Movement is different from progress. You can be moving and not progressing because you are moving in circles.
All right. So that's an important question to ask oneself. What must I stop doing now? What must I start doing now? And what must I start doing now? But not just start doing it, like consistently. You want to be consistent at it, right? Because to a large extent, your habits, your routines will determine to a large extent how much money you make. Yeah, there are some people that are quote unquote valuable, but the only people that know they are valuable is them and their family member. So instead of them to be the light of the world, they are the light of their bathroom, they are the light of their church, they are the light of their streets, right? And it will not amount to many things because um, the money you make is also directly proportional to how many people know how valuable you are, right? How many people know how valuable you are. It's part of the equation to making money. So thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Um, I don't think there are any questions, but while we wait, let me just recap. Let me just talk on two things that you said that was really, really, um, phenomenal for me. So you said something, you said that the first thing that must change about you if you want to grow is the body of knowledge that you're exposed to. And it's one of the things that Mrs. Esther shared with us yesterday. Said you cannot rise beyond your level of exposure. And it's true. Most of the things that you think are big deal are not big deal. It's just that you have not been exposed to it. All right. You also said something that you cannot outgrow your execution capacity. You know, it's more like when they say ideas rule the world. I get the context with which they are saying that from, but in the real sense of it, it is executed idea that rules the world, right? Just like you said that knowledge is not power, it is applied knowledge that is power. And I think that's very, very phenomenal. So thank you very much, Joseph. I am sincerely grateful. Like despite the issues and technical issues and all of that, you ensure that you do your best to drive home your points. I think that speaks so highly of you. Thank you so much. I am very grateful. So there are no
Thank you,
questions.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So there are no questions, and we are going to have to end tonight's session here. I'm going to reach out to you in the near Joseph. All right, so you can just drop off. Thank you very much, man. Sincerely
All right, it's my
grateful.
pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, awesome. So, all right, guys. So we have come to the end of today's session. We have come to the end of today's session. Yeah, there was network glitch here and there, and I apologize for that. There were situations beyond our control. All right, but tomorrow promises to be better. We are going to make available alternatives that would ensure that we do not experience what we experienced today. So, with that said,
Yeah. Activation. New wine. Let's move. New wine, new minds. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season. This is prime time. Yeah. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we change it, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. I had to check my mindset, cause new levels don't fit old presets. Asking God for increase, still thinking in defeat. That's like praying for harvest, then refusing to plant seeds. Nah, we don't just quote it, we become it. Faith with structure, vision with substance. Purposes and vibe is a stewardship. Calling isn't status, is discipleship. See, everybody wants the crown, nobody wants the crushing. Everybody wants the oil, nobody wants the pressing. But the wine flows when the grapes break. You don't build legacy by taking every escape. I told fear, move, I told doubt, shift. If God put it in my hands, then I won't drop the gift. New wine, new wine, new wines, yeah, yeah. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we're changing, let it start inside. Activation, yes, do or die. Copy paste culture, everybody's a clone. Trying to wear another man's calling like it's sewn to the bones. But authenticity, that's kingdom currency. Cause David killed giants without Saul's security. I don't need your lane, I just need my assignment. Purposes and popularity, it's alignment. Excellence matters, preparation matters. When opportunity knocks, character answers. Look, prayer without work, that's presumption. Work without God, that's exhaustion. We need both, the spirit and the strategy, the fire and the discipline, the grace and the mastery. So when they ask what changed, tell them my mind renewed, my vision grew, my circle shifted, my priorities moved. New wine, new skin, I made. Make room for the dreams he planted. Make room for the person you're becoming. No more shrinking, no more hiding. If he called you, start walking. New wine, new mind. No more living on the sideline. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season, this is prime time. New wine, new grace. Can't put greatness in the same place. If we're changing, let it start inside. Like the colors on this drawing time. Activation. Yeah, activation. When we build activation. New wine, activation. We move. Yeah. Activation. New wine. Let's move. New wine, new minds. No more living on the sidelines. God's been calling, here the lifeline. This is our season. This is prime time. Yeah. New wine.